So you came back to die with your city.
Every great movie needs a finale that stops time and grabs you by the throat. These are the moments when heroes either rise to legendary status or die spectacularly trying.
Let's go.
We're starting with what happens when a greedy industrialist tries to crush a quiet town, and the only hope comes in the form of 7 gunslingers who clearly ran out of better life choices. The 2016 remake takes the classic Western formula and adds enough explosives to make Michael Bay weep with pride. The Final Showdown transforms Rose Creek into a Civil War battlefield, except with better cinematography and significantly more dramatic one-liners. Chris Pratt effortlessly trades his Guardian humor for quick draw skills, while Denzel Washington delivers justice with stone-cold precision. What elevates this finale into raw satisfaction is its bold twist on Western tropes, trading a noon duel for a chaotic war with dynamite, Gatling guns, and Sun Tzu-inspired tactics.
Dynamite.
His shield was heavy. It threw him off balance. And his target...
Forget everything you learned about workplace conflict resolution, because King Leonidas has a much simpler approach. When somebody makes unreasonable demands, you kick them into a conveniently placed bottomless pit while screaming, "This is Sparta!" The Battle of Thermopylae became a masterclass in making hopeless odds look absolutely epic. 300 Spartans face what appears to be every monster from Greek mythology's unemployment line. Xerxes brings elephants, rhinos, executioners, and the ancient world's most unsuccessful body modification enthusiasts. Zack Snyder's visual style turns this historical last stand into a heavy metal magazine cover come to life. The finale showcases how legends are born. Leonidas knows he's not coming home, but dying spectacularly is sometimes more powerful than living quietly.
My queen! My love.
Jason Bourne's identity recovery concludes with him literally driving off a building, because apparently that's how government assassins say goodbye. The final confrontation settles not with gunfights, but with truth as the most dangerous weapon in a spy's arsenal. When Bourne finally recovers his memories and confronts the people who turned him into a human weapon, the true triumph lies not in survival, but in a mind's bold liberation. Bourne discovers his real name through detective work, making Sherlock Holmes proud and violent enough to make him faint. The climactic sequence at the Treadstone facility plays like a combination therapy session and action sequence. Matt Damon's performance showcases someone piecing together his life's puzzle, discovering that some puzzles are better left incomplete. That final leap isn't just an escape, it's a rebirth. For the first time in years, Bourne chooses who he is.
You're a traitor. You've always been a traitor.
Before Taken, divorced dads in movies struggled with awkward restaurant dinners. After Taken, we realise some divorced dads have a very particular set of skills that make them absolute nightmares for kidnappers. The final showdown on a yacht worth more than most small nations' GDP proves retirement from the CIA is more suggestion than actual life change. Brian Mills' methodical elimination of everyone involved in his daughter's kidnapping plays like Die Hard meets a very violent Maury episode. Instead of building to one climactic boss fight, Taken gives us increasingly intense personal confrontations. Each villain gets customized justice reflecting their trafficking role. The emotional heartbeats not just for Kim's rescue, but for proving some bonds defy divorce papers and teenage defiance. Daddy's home, and he's brought enough trauma to last several lifetimes. Maximus Decimus Meridius has a commodus problem requiring arena-based therapy. Russell Crowe transforms from decorated general to enslaved gladiator, discovering that career changes in ancient Rome involve significantly more bloodshed than modern job transitions. Joaquin Phoenix's commodus represents what happens when daddy issues meet unlimited political power and serious psychological instability. Maximus treats gladiatorial combat like performance reviews where poor evaluations result in immediate termination. Commodus stabs Maximus before their public duel because fair fights are for peasants, obviously. What he doesn't realize is mortally wounded Russell Crowe is somehow even more dangerous than regular Russell Crowe. The Colosseum battle becomes a metaphor for the Empire's corruption, the divine emperor cheating in front of thousands, getting dismantled by a dying slave representing everything noble Rome has forgotten. Maximus's death completes a journey from Spanish wheat fields to rejoining his family in the afterlife, exposing Commodus as the weak man-child he always was.
So now it ends.
There can only be one is either the most ominous movie tagline or the world's most aggressive networking slogan. The final battle between Connor McLeod and Kurgan determines whether humanity gets a responsible champion or one treating the mortal world like his personal playground. The showdown moves from New York streets to a building top because immortals are contractually obligated to fight in the most dramatic locations possible. Kurgan represents everything Connor could have become, choosing power over wisdom, immortality combined with a violent toddler's emotional maturity. When Connor wins, the prize, becoming mortal again, is the ultimate reward for an immortal who's learned to value life above all else. The irony is perfect. Dying becomes the ultimate prize for someone who's learned what it means to be human.
There can be only one.
Robert McCall's final confrontation with Russian mobsters in a hardware store proves Denzel Washington can make anything intimidating. The brilliance lies in transforming mundane retail into an elaborate death maze. McCall effortlessly turns his surroundings against enemies with MacGyver-level creativity. Nail guns become sniper rifles, microwaves become torture devices, barbed wire becomes the world's most inconvenient restraint system. Denzel showcases someone dangerous not just from training, but from seeing violent potential in everything around him. It's Bob the Builder's evil twin having the worst day, except with advanced military training and severe anger management issues. The real chill comes not from the blood, but from seeing enemies dismantled with the quiet precision most reserved for building flat-pack furniture.
It's me, Mr. McCall. It's Ralphie.
Some friendships end with awkward texts and block social media. Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. represent different approaches to heroism, reaching their breaking point in a Siberian bunker while Zemo watches like he's binge-watching his favorite drama series. Tony Stark learns his parents were murdered by Steve Rogers' best friend, while Steve discovers his oldest companion was brainwashed into becoming a weapon. There's no right answer, no clear villain, just two good men making impossible choices under unthinkable pressure. He leaves behind more than a shield, he walks away from the very emblem of what he and Tony once stood shoulder to shoulder defending. The true tragedy lies in Zemo's win, exposing Hero's self-destruction, rivaling any external foe.
before you came back to die with your city.
After spending most of the movie getting absolutely demolished by Tom Hardy's Bane, Bruce Wayne returns for a rematch that's less Dark Knight and more very angry billionaire with serious personal issues. The film asks whether Bruce has been using Batman as therapy or genuine heroism, then answers by having him pilot a nuclear bomb away from populated areas. Bane's reveal as Talia's protector rather than the mastermind reframes the entire trilogy. Sometimes the real enemy isn't the obvious muscle, but the person pulling the strings from the shadows. The climactic fight showcases a Batman who's finally learned that surviving is definitely not the same as living. Anne Hathaway's Catwoman proves that sometimes the best partnerships develop between people who understand moral ambiguity and excellent escape routes. Bruce completes his arc from scared child to self-sacrificing hero.
Susan, where is it? Where's the trigger? Tell me where the trigger is. You have my permission to die.
You have offended my family, and you have offended the Shaolin Temple.
His final confrontation with Han occurs in a hall of mirrors, creating philosophical meditation on identity while people try to kill each other with medieval weaponry. The mirror maze becomes the perfect metaphor for Lee's journey, surrounded by infinite reflections of himself and his enemy, forced to distinguish between illusion and truth while fighting for his life. Lee's systematic destruction of the mirrors represents more than tactical advantage, it's the elimination of deception, leaving only pure skill against pure evil. Han's claw hand makes him really dangerous, but Lee's combination of physical prowess and mental discipline makes him unstoppable. When the mirror shatters, the truth is revealed. We witness not just victory, but the perfect synthesis of Eastern philosophy and Western action cinema. Lee doesn't just defeat Han, he demonstrates that authentic skill will always triumph over artificial enhancement.
Rocky just looking. Creed, the champion, sipping, flying those jabs out there, left-handed jabs.
He's just trying to make this man make the first move. See, make him miss like... Hey, I don't believe it! Hey, the champ is down!
Rocky Balboa's fight with Apollo surges past winning, proving Hart conquers impossible odds. The final round showcased a fighter who refuses to stay down, absorbing punishment that would hospitalize most men, as Apollo and Rocky push each other beyond their limits. Rocky's strategy seems to be absorb every possible punch until the other guy gets tired, which is either brilliant conditioning or profound stupidity. Apollo realizes he's not fighting an athlete, he's fighting someone's entire dream made flesh. The genius of the finale is that Rocky loses the fight but wins everything that matters. Going the distance with the heavyweight champion proves that sometimes the greatest victory is simply surviving long enough to show the world what you're made of. When Rocky calls for Adrian through his swollen, bloodied face, it's not just romantic, it's the cry of someone who's finally proven himself worthy of love.
Ain't gonna be no rematch.
The 1-1. Buzz yourself for that one. What do you think about when the 15th round when you're coming out?
Adrian!
Rocky!
Ladies and gentlemen.
You really want me to shake your hand? I insist.
Django's return to Candyland isn't just a rescue mission, it's a reckoning that's been building for centuries of injustice. The Dinner Party Massacre plays like a combination of spaghetti western and home invasion thriller, except the home in question is a monument to human trafficking and the invader is righteously furious. Jamie Foxx's performance showcases someone who's learned that sometimes justice requires getting your hands dirty, or in this case, getting everything dirty, including the walls, furniture, and several expensive paintings. The brilliance of Tarantino's finale is how it transforms Django from victim to agent of historical correction. Tarantino's finale burns Candyland to the ground with Django walking away, dynamite in hand, representing symbolic justice for everyone who never received their revenge. The film transforms spaghetti western into a mediation on American slavery, proving that some historical wrongs require complete destruction to balance the scales.
He's a sweetheart guy, always takes his time.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
You're empty. So are you.
Neo discovers that reality is a computer simulation, which explains why everything feels like a video game designed by philosophy majors with unlimited special effects budgets. It entails accepting the responsibility that comes with being the One. The lobby shootout proves Neo's learned to bend the Matrix's rules, but the subway fight demonstrates he's ready to break them entirely. Keanu Reeves transforms from confused hacker to digital messiah through a combination of martial arts, philosophy, and really impressive special effects. Agent Smith represents the system's immune response to change. He's not just defending the Matrix, he's defending the concept that some people are meant to be enslaved. When Neo finally stops dodging bullets and starts stopping them with his mind, it transcends cool visual effects. It becomes the moment humanity's savior fully embraces his destiny. The resurrection sequence confirms that sometimes dying for what you believe in is the only way to truly live.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson. My name is Neo.
Jurassic World's finale asks the important question: what happens when you genetically engineer the perfect predator and then realize you need an even more perfect predator to stop it? The Indominus Rex represents humanity's arrogance taken to its logical extreme, a creature designed to be the ultimate theme park attraction that instead becomes the ultimate nightmare. Chris Pratt's relationship with his velociraptors pays off in the most ridiculous way possible when he essentially calls in a favor from his scaly friends. The T-Rex's triumphant return feels like watching a beloved actor finally get their moment in the spotlight after years of supporting roles. When the Mosasaurus leaps from the lagoon for the final kill, it's nature's way of reminding us that the ocean has been producing perfect killers for millions of years without any human assistance whatsoever. Sometimes the best solution to man-made problems is letting nature handle the cleanup.
You made it. I'm so thrilled.
Batman refuses to become what he fights, resolving their confrontation through principles rather than violence, which seems surprising for someone dressed like a flying mammal. Heath Ledger's Joker represents chaos personified. He doesn't want money, power, or even recognition. He just wants to prove that civilization is a thin veneer over mankind's natural brutality. The ferry experiment becomes the ultimate test of the Joker's philosophy, and when both boats refuse to blow each other up, it's humanity's finest moment captured in the middle of Gotham's darkest night. Batman's choice to save the Joker after their fall demonstrates that heroism isn't about defeating evil, it's about refusing to let evil change you into something unrecognizable. When Gordon's son asks why Batman is running, the answer encapsulates everything heroic about taking responsibility for things beyond your control. Sometimes being the hero means accepting the blame for someone else's sins.
And I won't kill you, because you're just too much fun.
This city just showed you ready to believe in good. Is that the best you can do?
This is the best I can do. This is exactly what I wanted. All of you.
Together.
Ultron's plan to save humanity by eliminating most of it represents artificial intelligence learning all the wrong lessons from human history. The Battle of Sokovia becomes a race against time as the Avengers fight to save a flying city, while its AI overlord uses it as a weapon of planetary extinction. The finale showcases each Avenger contributing their unique skills while learning to function as a genuine team rather than a collection of individuals with matching outfits. Vision's birth represents hope for artificial intelligence done right, not a program designed to solve humanity's problems, but one designed to understand and protect humanity's potential. Pietro Maximoff's sacrifice demonstrates that sometimes redemption requires the ultimate price, especially when fighting a robot with daddy issues and genocidal tendencies.
James, you can't. Showtime, boy!
Logan's final battle is a desperate stand to protect Laura and the mutant children while facing the reality that his own body is failing him. Hugh Jackman's performance showcases a man whose healing factor is failing, whose purpose has been stripped away, and whose only remaining mission is ensuring the next generation has a chance at something better. The fight against X-24 becomes a literal battle against Logan's worst impulses made flesh, a younger, stronger version of himself without conscience or restraint. When Logan injects himself with a serum for one last berserker rage, it's not just tactical, it's a man choosing to burn out rather than fade away. The emotional weight hits hardest when you realize that this isn't just Wolverine's final fight, it's Hugh Jackman's farewell to a character that defined his career. Sometimes the greatest heroism is knowing when to pass the torch, even if it kills you.
Harry Potter is dead!
For all of us! It's not over!
Harry's last stand against Voldemort is rooted in choice, love over power, sacrifice over self-preservation, and solidarity over isolation. The revelation that Harry must die to defeat Voldemort reframes the entire series. He's not the chosen one because he's special because he chooses to be chosen. The Battle of Hogwarts showcases everyone Harry has ever helped returning that favor when he needed it the most. Daniel Radcliffe's performance in the Forbidden Forest, walking towards certain death with his parents' spirits for comfort, representing the purest form of heroism imaginable. When Harry survives Voldemort's killing curse for the second time, it's not plot armor, it's the universe's way of rewarding someone who was willing to sacrifice everything for others. The final duel demonstrates that Voldemort's greatest weakness comes from his complete inability to understand why anyone would choose death over dishonor rather than from magic. The T-1000's liquid metal abilities make it the perfect antagonist for a movie about the fluidity of destiny and the malleability of the future. Arnold Schwarzenegger's transformation from killing machine to protective father figure reaches its emotional peak when he chooses self-destruction to prevent Skynet's creation. The chase through the steel mill showcases practical effects still superior to most CGI 3 decades later, proving that sometimes old-school techniques age better than digital alternatives. Robert Patrick's T-1000 represents the cold perfection of artificial intelligence without the humanity that makes the original Terminator capable of growth and sacrifice. The T-800's final thumbs up while descending into molten steel becomes the moment where an artificial being demonstrates more humanity than most actual humans display during normal circumstances. The tears on Sarah Connor's face confirm that sometimes the most human moments come from decidedly non-human sources.
Kylo Ren. Luke's facing him alone.
Oh, we should help him. Let's go.
No, wait.
Luke Skywalker's final confrontation with Kylo Ren and the First Order redefines what it means to be a Jedi Master. Using Force projection to appear on Crate while remaining on Acto demonstrates that the most powerful weapon in the galaxy isn't a lightsaber, it's hope itself. Mark Hamill's performance showcases a Luke who's learned that legends are more powerful than individuals, that inspiring other matters more than personal glory. The Binary Sunset callback connects Luke's final moment to his very first appearance, suggesting that some journeys end where they begin, but with wisdom gradually replacing wonder. Luke's sacrifice ensures resistance, escape, and continuation of hope throughout the galaxy, demonstrating that martyrdom can be tactical choice rather than just dramatic gesture. The Force projection technique shows that the most powerful weapon in the galaxy becomes hope itself rather than plasma sword or planet-destroying space station.
Don't make me destroy you. I am your father.
Vader's revelation to Luke that he's his father flips the Star Wars saga from a straightforward battle between good and evil into a tangled family drama with galaxy-wide consequences. The lightsaber duel in Cloud City becomes a conversation about destiny, choice, and the seductive nature of power. Mark Hamill's performance captures someone whose entire worldview shatters in a single sentence, which seems like inefficient communication, but excellent dramatic technique. James Earl Jones delivers "I am your father" with the kind of gravity that turns plot twists into cultural phenomena. Luke's choice to fall rather than join his father represents the ultimate act of faith, believing that death is preferable to corruption. The rescue by his friends demonstrates that love and loyalty can overcome even the darkest revelations. Luke's mechanical hand provides a visual reminder that he's becoming more like his father whether he wants to or not.
No. It's not true.
Come with me. It is the only way.
No pay. No pay.
There's the bell for the opening round, and Rocky Balboa comes out.
Rocky's fight with Ivan Drago becomes a proxy war for the entire Cold War, fought with boxing gloves instead of nuclear weapons. The death of Apollo Creed transforms what should have been an exhibition match into a quest for vengeance that carries the weight of national pride. Sylvester Stallone's training montage in the Siberian wilderness suggests that American determination can overcome Soviet scientific perfection. Dolph Lundgren's Drago represents the logical endpoint of state-sponsored athletics, physical perfection without emotional connection. When Rocky gives his post-fight speech about change, it's both naive and prophetic. Sometimes the simplest truths are the most powerful. In the fight against Drago, the true triumph is proving that one spirit can rise above systematic oppression, even in the heart of the Soviet Union. The Battle of Pelennor Fields represents the culmination of 3 films worth of character development, political maneuvering, and escalating stakes. Aragorn's arrival with the army of the dead demonstrates that sometimes the most unlikely allies are the ones who you owe the biggest favours. The charge of the Rohirrim showcases Bernard Hill's Theoden finally living up to his kingly potential in the most spectacular way possible. Ewan's confrontation with the Witch King proves that prophecies are often more literal than their interpreters realise. When the Eagles arrive with Gandalf, it's not a deus ex machina, it's the natural result of alliances built throughout the entire trilogy. Frodo and Sam's trek to Mount Doom reveals the true fight raging with will and friendship, not swords. The destruction of the ring represents more than Sauron's defeat. It's the end of an age where power was concentrated in objects rather than people.
I remember. This is just the way your father looked before he died. I killed Mufasa.
Simba's return to Pride Rock centers on accepting responsibility for past mistakes and people's future, which sounds like a leadership seminar until you remember we're discussing animated lions with Shakespearean problems. The revelation that Scar killed Mufasa transforms Simba's exile from tragic accident to justified absence. James Earl Jones' Mufasa appears in the clouds, representing the moment Simba stops running from destiny and starts embracing royal responsibilities despite years of that Hakuna Matata lifestyle. Jeremy Irons' Scar proves that intelligence without wisdom leads to corruption, and power without responsibility leads to destruction. The Fire and Golf final battle between uncle and nephew becomes a visual metaphor for the devastation caused by years of poor leadership. When Scar falls to his death, consumed by the very hyenas he manipulated, it demonstrates that betraying everyone eventually means there'll be no one to save you. Simba's roar from Pride Rock signals a new king and the return of balance after Scar's reign of chaos.
Majesty.
And finally, taking the top spot, the showdown that redefined what it means to fight like a mother. Ripley's confrontation with the alien queen transcends typical monster movie showdowns to become a primal battle between two mothers protecting their young. Sigourney Weaver's transformation from corporate employee to warrior goddess represents one of cinema's greatest character arcs. The power loader fight demonstrates that sometimes the most effective weapon against a perfect organism is human ingenuity combined with maternal fury. The Queen's intelligence and rage makes her more than just a monster. She's a worthy adversary who understands exactly what Ripley has taken from her. When Ripley declares, "Get away from her, you," it's not just a threat, it's one mother warning another that she'll do absolutely anything to protect her child. The airlock sequence provides the perfect climax, both literally and metaphorically explosive. Ripley doesn't just defeat the alien queen, she proves that humanity's greatest strength isn't technology or weapons, but the fierce love that drives us to impossible acts of courage. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then check out this next one and comment below your favorites.